welcome to Bottoms Down, chair yoga for everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you joined us today. So today is day 28 of our 28-day chair yoga journey together. I am so thankful that you've chosen to go on this journey with me. It's been a very powerful experience for me personally, and I hope for you too. And I also hope that you feel a sense of accomplishment for sticking to it and seeing your commitment to the end. So we are going to start seated. We'll move into a standing warrior pose. We are going to be using the block today. So, if you have that block, that's great. If you substitute a large book for it, that's great. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. It's fine. So let's go ahead. If you have it, set it down there under your chair. Remember, if you'd click subscribe, I appreciate it. It's free. Leave me a comment, and let's get started. So we're going to sit up nice and tall in our chair, right? We're moving forward in our seat. We're not leaning back. Take a moment to focus on that mind and body and breath. Grounding our feet to the earth. Grounding our sits bones to the chair. Lifting our heart, lowering our shoulders, hands on the thighs, flip the palms up, close the breath, close the eyes, and connect to your breath. Just feeling your inhalation and exhalation, noticing that breath. We're going to move that breath down into the diaphragm. As we inhale, the belly extends. We're filling those lungs from the bottom up. And as we exhale, we actively pull the belly button in towards the spine, pushing the air up and out of the lungs. Do that a couple more times. And breathe normally. Now we're going to continue with our diaphragmatic breath. We're going to inhale to 4 counts and then exhale to 5 counts. It'll be something like this. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart. Set your intentions for today's practice. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. We're going to let our right ear fall towards our right shoulder. Reach back and grab the chair. Squeeze your shoulder blades back behind you. And let that ear fall a little further if it works okay for you. Let's drop our chin towards our chest. See if you can maintain the squeeze of the shoulder blades back behind you. And then we're going to drop that left ear to that left shoulder, squeezing the chair. Now, release the hands behind you. Leave the head in that extension. Feeling the neck stretching, and then bring the head up. Okay, excellent work. So now we're going to move into Cobra pose to child's pose. So what I'd like for you to do is grab your block and just place it between your feet. Okay, for now. You'll see why here in a second. Now, we're going to move back in our chair. And what I want you to do is to place, we're going to move into Cobra pose first. So you're going to place the inside of the arms right on the outside of the leg, the outside of the back of the chair. All right, do you see kind of what I'm doing there? So I've got the inside of my arms to the outside of the back of the chair. Now I'm not really leaning back, so I'm not here resting. I want you to think about lifting up through the heart, opening up through the chest. So the hands are just kind of resting here on the side. Look up slightly. So Cobra pose, seated Cobra pose. We have one more breath here. Now we're going to move into child's pose. So I'm going to let my belly come forward, and I'm just going to drop my hands between my legs and kind of let my head fall down. All right, tuck the chin and roll it up. Okay, so that's generally what we're doing. Now what we're going to be doing is with the block is we're going to try to get our head a little bit lower and place our hands on the block, okay? If it feels okay. If that doesn't feel good for you, then you're just going to stay right here, and there's nothing wrong with this child's pose. It's absolutely fine. Let's do that again. So we're coming back just a little bit, but not leaning back on the back of the chair. Place the inside of the arms on the outside of the chair back. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Lift your heart, looking up. There's that Cobra pose. So it's a nice heart opening, right? So we're opening up through that chest. One more breath. Now, pull your belly in, hinge forward. Place your hands between your legs. Now, see if you can let your heart fall any further, and maybe your hands go on to the block. Let that head fall if that feels okay. Roll up into seated position. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Here we go. Cobra. Looking up. Oh yeah. Feel that stretch through the sternum. One more breath. And down we go into that child's pose. Hands to the block if that feels okay for you. Letting yourself just kind of hang out here between your legs. Hands are resting on that block for support. If you don't have the block, the hands can be resting on your legs or on the floor. One more breath and roll it up into seated position. Okay, excellent work. Let's grab our block. Now again, if you don't have the block, don't worry about it, it's fine. But the block is in my right hand and my other hand is up at goalpost arms. So I'm going to bring this hand across and I'm going to grab my block and then I'm going to grab it and open. Now my other arm is going to come across, grab the block and open. Don't bring the block to the hand. Make the hand go all the way to the block. Grab the block and open. Just a little seated twist here, right? Grab that block and open. One more time on each side. Bring the arm across, grab the block and open. And we're going to do the other side. Grab the block and open. And release. Okay, very good. So the next series is going to be a sun salutation, which I know we've done a lot. This time we're going to move with our forward fold. We're going to use our block to give us some support. So we're going to place that block in that tall number 3 position right between our feet. If you don't have the block, you're going to be using your legs for support as you walk down, okay? So that's fine. Bring your hands to heart. So we're going to reverse swan dive all the way up to mountain pose, and we're going to bring our hands to heart. Then we're going to come back up to mountain pose, and we're going to come forward salute, airplane arms, stretching through the spine. All right, let's start with our supported forward fold. Place your forearms on the thighs and let the heart fall forward. Tuck the chin and roll it up. So you should feel your back working and stretching there. Hands to heart. Let's do that again, just like that. Up we go to mountain pose. Bring your hands to heart. We're going to come back to mountain, dive forward, forward, salute, airplane arms, stretching through the spine. Supported forward fold. Let the heart fall forward. Tuck the chin and roll it up. Adding on, hands to heart. Here we go. Big circle up. Bring your hands to heart. Inhale as you come up. If you want to add the breath, exhale, forward, salute, airplane arms. We got this. Let's do that full supported forward fold. Okay, now instead of having your hands on your thighs, you're going to reach down, put your hands on the block, and let that heart fall a little further. There's the back. Tuck the chin and roll it up. Bring your hands to your heart. Okay, now we're going to move that block to the number 2 position. And if you're using your legs, you're just going to take your hands down a little further on the legs. Ready? Big circle. Up we go. Mountain pose. Bring your hands to heart. Add that breath if you want to. Back up to mountain pose. Forward salute, airplane arms, stretching. All right, forward fold. Now take your hands off the legs, place them on the block, let the heart fall a little further. Tuck the chin, roll it up, bring your hands to your heart. Let's move that block to the number 1 position. Are we ready? Big circle, up we go. Mountain pose, bring your hands to heart. Back to mountain pose, forward salute, airplane arms. Forward fold. All right, are we ready? Move the hands to the block. Let that heart fall a little further. Tuck the chin, roll it up to seated. Now, if you want to just do it without the block, just let that block back a little bit under your chair. Bring your hands to heart. Big circle, up we go. Mountain pose, bring your hands to heart. Back up we go. Forward salute, airplane arms, stretching. All right, forward fold. Let's start here. Let that heart begin to fall. Now, if you want, you're going to bring your hands to the floor. Now, if it feels okay, you're going to tuck your chin and you're going to look under your chair. We have one more breath here. Now, come up slowly. Go ahead and place your hands back on the thighs for support. Roll yourself up nice and slow. Take your time here. I don't want you to get dizzy. How did that feel? Excellent work. We're going to move into gate pose next. So let's all move to the right side of our chair. So you've got one cheek on and one cheek off. And let's extend that right leg out to the side. So inner and outer thighs, we're going to be stretching and working here. So you're up on the edge of that foot. Okay? Let's extend that left arm to the ceiling. Right arm is on that leg and it's going to slide down as we close our gate. Now we're going to come up, we're going to place this hand on the chair, lengthen that right arm and open that gate. Bring that hand down to the chair, extend, close that gate. Make sure you're nice and long through the spine before you bend. Up we go. Place the hand on the chair. Opposite hand extends and open. And we're going to do one more. Let's do it. Extend, lean. Up we go. Opposite arm extends and leans. And up we go and release. Oh yeah, that feel pretty good? Ready for the other side? Let's do it. We're going to scoot over to the other side of that chair. Lengthen that other leg out. All right, let's extend that right arm up and close our gate. Up we go. Hand to the chair, extend and lean. Up we go. Opposite side, extend and let that hand slide down the leg as you close that gate. Up we go. Lengthen and hinge. We've only have one more on each side. We got this. Up we go. Little flow here, right? We're moving through. Down that hand goes to the chair. Opposite arm extends and lean. Oh yeah. And up we go. And come into seated. All right. Really, really good work. Is that feeling pretty good? A little stretch. Feel like we warmed up? Okay. We're going to take our right knee and we're going to open it up and we're going to move into our crescent lunge. Okay, so this knee falls down towards the floor. Bring your hands to your heart. Okay, so we're going to bring those hands up to the ceiling. Now you're going to windmill and face me. Take your hands back up to the ceiling and you're going to windmill and face the other way. Hands back to the ceiling. Let's squeeze our shoulder blades behind us in goalpost arms, looking up slightly. Bring the hands down to the chair. Release and take just a little break. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, so we're going to take this left knee and we're going to open it up. Right knee is going to fall down towards the floor. Okay, lifting your heart up. Bring your hands to heart. Now, we're going to extend the arms up to the ceiling and we're going to rotate, face me. Hands back to the ceiling. Rotate and face over the back of your chair. Hands to the ceiling. We're going to squeeze our shoulder blades behind us, goalpost arms, looking up slightly. Hands back to the ceiling. Bring your hands back down to the chair. Face forward and release. Okay. So we're going to add one thing to that series, and that is we're going to slip our hips off of the chair and move through that sequence, okay? So you don't have to. You can keep your hips right on that chair, and that's fine. So let's take that knee and open it wide. Let that knee fall down towards the floor. So here we are in our crescent lunge, right? Now, I'm just going to slip my hips off of the chair. Bring your hands to heart. So make sure your abdominals are tight, your spine is long. Lengthen the hands to the ceiling. Now you're going to windmill and face me. Hands to the ceiling. Windmill and face over your chair. Hands to the ceiling. Goalpost arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind you. Look up. Hands to the ceiling. Bring your hands back to the chair. Slip your hips back on and face forward. Okay, let's do the other side. Here we go. Bring that knee out. Opposite knee falls down towards the floor. Push that foot back behind you. Okay, are we ready? Slip those hips off that chair. I know, right? I gotcha. Bring your hands to heart. All right, hands to the ceiling we go. Windmill and face me, belly tight. Up we go. Windmill and face over the seat of your chair. Up we go. Goalpost arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind. Look up slightly. Hands to the ceiling. Bring your hands to the chair. Slip your hips back on and face forward. Okay. Doing okay? Right, let's come to standing. So I want to finish strong with a tree pose, right? So we're going to do that full tree, and we're going to start in kickstand. So we're going to put the weight next to put the weight into the leg that's next to the chair. I'll get that out here in a second. Create your kickstand. So my heel is up against the standing ankle, right? Belly is tight. Bring your hands to heart. Now remember, belly tight, pelvic floor muscles lift. Find a spot that's not moving, focus in on it. Add your branches to your trees. Bring your hands back down to heart and grab the chair and release. Okay, so we're going to stay on this side of the chair, and we're going to go ahead and add that lifting leg. So all you'll do is you can place your foot against your quad or shin, or you can lift it up and bring it in to the inside of that leg. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Either one is fine. Okay. Or you can stay in kickstand. It's fine too. All right. So let's all start in kickstand. So my ankle's right up against that, my heel is up against that standing ankle. Remember, belly tight. We're going to let go of the chair. Bring your hands to heart. Now, if you want, you're going to lift that foot up. Let's add our branches to our trees. Belly tight. We have one more breath here. Bring your hands back to heart. Put your foot down mindfully. We're going to the other side. We can stay on this side of the chair. So create your kickstand first. Bring your hands to your heart. Let's leave our foot down in kickstand to start with. Extend those arms up towards the ceiling, adding the branches to our beautiful trees. Bring the hands back to heart. Put the foot down for just a moment. Okay, are we ready? Back to kickstand. Now, if you wish, lift your foot up. Add the branches to the trees. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your heart and put that foot down mindfully. Excellent. Very good. Okay, so we're going to move into a quadruped series. So I'm going to take a little step back from my chair, okay? So I'm not too close to it. So whenever I hinge, I want to be able to bring my hands to the chair and bring my weight forward, okay? So if I'm too close to it, I don't really have this, where I can bring my weight forward. You want the shoulders right over wrists. Okay, so I encourage you to just look down. I may look out at the camera just so I can peek at you, but don't feel like you need to turn your head. You can look straight down at the chair. Okay, so we're going to start by taking our outside arm, right? So your right arm extended out. Now the opposite leg is going to come back behind you and you're up on those toes, okay? So here is version 1 of our quadruped. Your abdominals are engaged pretty tightly. Let's bring that hand down and bring the foot forward. And then we're going to go to the other side, okay? So we're extending. The arm is extended out, the foot is back behind, the toes are on the floor. And back we go. Okay, let's bend the knees and roll up and check in. So how are we feeling on that one? Okay, so we're going to add on a couple of things here. So hinge forward, hands into the chair, bring the weight forward. Shoulders are right over wrists, okay? Okay, so let's start. Let's extend that arm out, the opposite leg back. Now, instead of keeping the toes on the floor, we're going to lift that leg up, flex the foot, and I want you to push that foot back behind you. Push the arm out in front of you. Belly stays tight here. One more breath, come back center. We're going straight to the other side. Here we go. Extend, start with toes down, then lift that leg up, flex the foot that's in the air, push your foot towards the wall behind you, push the fingertips towards the wall in front of you. One more breath, bring your hand down, bring your foot down, bend the knees and roll up. Okay, everything feeling all right? You feeling like, okay, last little piece. We're going to add one more thing on. All right, are we ready? Let's hinge forward. Place the hands in the seat of the chair, bring the weight forward. All right, let's extend the arm and the opposite leg is back. Now we're going to lift that leg up and I want you to cross it back behind you. Bring your hand back down to the chair, turn and look at your back toes. So we're adding in a little twist to our quadruped. Just one more breath here. Take the twist out, bring that leg and put that foot on the floor. Can we go straight to the other side? Let's do it. Extend the arm first, then put the leg back behind you, toes down first. Now flex the foot, lift that leg up. Pushing the foot into the wall behind you, the fingertips to the wall in front of you. Now I'm going to take the leg and I'm going to bring it back behind and I'm going to put my hand back in the chair. And I'm going to turn and I'm going to look at those back toes. Just one more breath. Go ahead and face forward, bring that foot around, bend the knees, roll up into a standing position. Okay, excellent. So now, grab your block if you have it and place it right here by your chair. Now if you don't have your block, you're just going to use the seat of the chair, and then if you want a little more, you can walk your hands down your legs, okay? So let's come back just a smidge. Feet are hip distance apart, okay? Now I'm going to hinge forward. So we're moving into a forward fold. I don't know if I even said that. This is a forward fold series. So your hands can be in the seat of the chair. Maybe you let your heart fall a little further for a little more hamstring stretch. Or maybe you put your hands on the block and let that heart fall forward. Or maybe your hands are on your legs. So you've got some options here. See if you can let your head fall. This is full version of a standing forward fold. We have one more breath. Let's bend our knees and we're going to roll up into standing. Hold that chair, checking in. How's that feel? Okay, so now we're going to just move that block down into that flattest position. And we're going to do that again, okay? Now what will happen is we're going to get down and we're going to have our hands on the block. And then we're going to see how it feels. Can we move the block away and put our hands on the floor? Okay? We're going to see how that feels. If you want to keep the hands on the block, that's okay. All right, are we ready? Let's hinge forward. We got this. Place the hands on the block. Remember, they can be in the chair or they can be holding onto the legs. If you don't have that block, it's absolutely fine. And if you want to keep the block high, that's okay too, right? Use your own discretion here, what feels good for you. Okay, so now I'm just going to hang out here for a couple more breaths, see how that's feeling, then maybe slide that block away and place your hands on the mat or on the floor, right? Let that head fall. Keep the legs straight. So we don't want to start bending the knees to get the hands down, right? I would much rather you have your hands up higher but the legs straight so that we're stretching the hamstring here. All right, let's bend the knees and roll up. Hold on to that chair, checking in. How did that feel? Okay, everybody all right? So the very last thing we're going to add to this series is ragdoll. So when you're down, what's going to happen is you're going to grab your elbows. We're going to bend our knees, and then you'll feel it more in the back. So right now, we're getting a lot of hamstring stretch, right? You're going to feel it more in the back, okay? Ragdoll. All right, so let's go ahead. Pick your version of forward fold. Doesn't matter, whichever version. And I'm going to grab my block. I'm going to use my block this time. Letting that head fall. Okay, so now to start ragdoll, I want you to bend your knees pretty generously. Let that heart fall a little further. Grab the elbows. And then we're going to hang out here in ragdoll. Now, nod your head yes if you wish. You don't have to. Feels good to me. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. All right, drop the hands back down to the block. Bend the knees, or keep the knees bent really. Roll up, hold your chair. You may be a little lightheaded from being in that inversion, right? And release. All right, how did that feel? Pretty good? Okay, so we're just gonna, you can place your block in the seat of your chair if you want to. All that does is it lifts the seat of the chair up a little bit higher, or you can just set it aside, right? So whatever you want to do. I'm going to use my block. So now I'm going to take my feet. I've moved a little bit further forward, and I'm going to take my feet the width of the chair legs, maybe a little bit more. And I want your toes to point forward, okay? So this isn't goddess where our toes are pointing out at a diagonal. The toes are going to point forward. Pull that belly in, okay? Now, we're going to do a forward fold just like we've been doing, and let's place our hands on the block or in the seat of the chair. Doesn't matter. So we're going to bend our right knee, and we're going to feel the inner thigh stretching on that left leg. Now we're going to come up and we're going to bend the other knee and feel the inner thigh stretching. And come up and bend. Come up and bend that other knee. And go ahead and roll up and take just a little break, okay? So, straddle forward fold. Now, the one thing we're going to add to that is just a rotation, okay? So here I am, and I'm going to bend one knee. So I'm bending this knee, and then I'm going to rotate the opposite direction, okay? And then I'm going to come center, and then I'm going to bend, and I'm going to rotate. All right, does that make sense? Okay, so let's go ahead and do our heel toe out. So our legs, our feet are the width of the chair legs, or maybe a little more if that feels okay. All 10 toes are pointing this way, forward. Pull your belly in, hinge forward, place the hands on that block or chair, doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to bend one knee, and then we're going to revolve the opposite direction. Okay, so you're opening up. So if you've got your left knee bent, you're opening to the right. Okay, and then we're going to come center. Then we're going to bend the other knee, and we're going to open the opposite direction. So we're stacking those ribs. One set of ribs are stacking on top of the other. Straighten the leg, put the hand back on the chair. Open up, bending that opposite knee. Placing the hand on the chair, bend the other knee and open. Place the hand on the chair, straighten both legs, heel toe your feet in together, and release. Excellent work, very good. So we're going to add on a little bit from our yesterday's work with triangle, and we're going to add our block. So our block is going to help us out. Again, you can just use your chair, just like we did yesterday. But if you want a little bit more, we're gonna be using our block, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is set our block on the end, and we're gonna put it on the inside of that foot, okay? So take that foot under the chair, remember bending the knee, take that opposite leg and step it back, hips face forward, bend that front knee. So you see kind of where my block is? Bring your hands to heart. Okay, belly tight, extending through the spine, tailbone is long, inhale to prepare, exhale up to that warrior one. Now, we're going to rotate around to that warrior two. We've done this one, we know it, right? Let's go ahead and reverse our warrior. Now, we're going to come back to warrior two. We're going to straighten our front leg. Upper body is going to come up over that chair, over the chair, over the chair. Now, instead of coming into the seat of the chair like we did yesterday, it's going to come to the block. Now, you can't let yourself sink down into this, right? So I want you to lifting up through the chest. Relaxing this back glute. So relax that. Let those hips come around. One more breath. Bend that front knee. Come back to that warrior two. Okay, so now straighten that front leg. So we're going to take the block and we're going to move it to the outside of that foot. Okay? Let's bring our hips back around. Get ready for that warrior one. Bending that front knee. So my block's now on the outside of that leg. Bring your hands to heart. Bring your belly in. Lengthen through your tailbone. Okay, ready? Inhale to prepare. Exhale, extend the arms up to that warrior one. Let's move to our warrior two. Reverse our warrior up and back. Back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Upper body over the chair. Over the chair. Over the chair. Now, hand comes to the seat of the chair or it comes to that back. See how much more you're open? You have to open to grab that block. It's just a little different, right? Providing a little more opportunity to open through that chest. This hand is up towards the ceiling for 3, 2, 1. Bend the front knee. Press up. Warrior two. And release. Excellent. Okay, grab your block. Let's come to the other side. So first of all, I'm going to place the block on the inside of that leg, that foot, right? So bend that knee. Make sure that that you can touch the chair. Step back. Hips are forward. Bend the front knee. Bring the hands to heart. Okay, belly is tight, right? Lengthen through the tailbone. Ha! Inhale here. Exhale, extend those arms up to the ceiling. Ready? We're going to windmill to that warrior two. Flip the palm up and back. And then we're going to come back to our warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Upper body over the chair. Over the chair. It won't go any further. Then we're going to bring the hand to the seat of the chair or to the block. Oh yeah. You feel that? I feel it. Front leg, right? A lot of stretch. One more breath. Bend that front knee. Press back up into that warrior two. Flip the palm up and back. Back to warrior two. Reach down and grab that block. Place it on the outside of that leg. Bring those hips around. Warrior one. Bring around to that warrior two. Flip the palm up and back to reverse our warrior. We've got this. Back to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Upper body comes over the chair. Over the chair. Now place the hand down in the seat of the chair or back to that back block. I know, it's quite the opening, isn't it? Feeling that front leg stretching? One more breath. Bend the front knee. Press back to that warrior two. And release. You guys did fabulous. Let's go ahead and have a seat. All right, let's move into Shavasana pose. We're going to lean back in our chair. Hands are going to rest lightly on the thighs. Flip the palms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Close the eyes.
Elevated perspective. Keep the little things little. Pay attention to the details, but don't let those small matters grab your emotions and run away with them. It's easy to expand a small disappointment into a dark cloud that lingers over your awareness. Fortunately, it's just as easy to elevate your perspective. When a disruption or disappointment pops up, quickly create some distance from it. Envision yourself suddenly flying up to 1,000 feet or 15,000 and consider the view from there. From an elevated perspective, you can see much more than whatever is frustrating you. You can see the full extent of your resources, positive possibilities, hopes, dreams, and best expectations. Rather than obsessing over a monetary thorn in your side, remind yourself of your most treasured values. Find fresh energy and enthusiasm to help you keep the small disappointments in their place. Refuse to be deterred from all the good you can do. From an elevated perspective, focus your efforts on supporting and advancing what truly means the most.
Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands, give the head a gentle tug. Release it. Drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug, pressing that right hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Oh, very well done. We have made it to the end of day 28. So I hope you feel a sense of accomplishment, because I know how hard you have worked. And you know, it takes discipline and willingness to stick to it to make it to the end of this chair yoga journey. Now, I hope you'll keep coming back. There's lots of yoga classes to choose from on the Bottoms Down YouTube channel. So just keep showing up, click the subscribe button, leave me a comment, and I'll see you next time.